Money laundering. Money laundering is the process by which the proceeds of unlawful activities are made to appear to have a legitimate origin. Basically, it is the illegal process of converting money earned from illegal activities into clean money. The possible sources of dirty money can be drug trafficking, international and domestic terrorism, embezzlement, arms trafficking. There are many ways in which money laundering can happen. For example, money laundering can happen through real estate. Someone can purchase a property using hard cash earned from selling drugs and quickly sell the property, making the proceeds of the sale completely legal. The three money laundering legislation in South Africa are: number 1, POCA, the Prevention of Organized Crime Act; number 2, POC-DATA, the Protection of Constitutional Democracy Against Terrorism and Related Activities; and number 3, the Financial Intelligence Center Act, FICA. POCA was introduced in 1998 to combat organized crime, money laundering, and criminal gang activities. The objectives of POCA are: number 1, to criminalize racketeering; number 2, to criminalize money laundering; number 3, to create a general reporting obligation for businesses; and number 4, to create a mechanism for confiscation of proceeds of crime and for civil forfeiture of proceeds. POCA offenses are: number 1, racketeering. Racketeering is the acquiring of business through illegal activities or operating a business through illegally derived income or using a business to commit illegal acts. So any of those three can be called racketeering. The number 2 offense is receiving property from an enterprise knowing that the property results in racketeering, or you should have known that the property results in racketeering. Please take note of the amounts and the period. A maximum fine of 100 million or imprisonment for a maximum of 30 years. POC-DATA. The act was introduced to broaden the scope of FICA to include the combating of terrorism, financing and improving measures to prevent and combat terrorist and related activities. The aim of POC-DATA is to introduce an obligation to report certain offenses linked to terrorist activities, including terrorist financing. FICA. The Financial Intelligence Center Act establishes the Financial Intelligence Center and a Money Laundering Advisory Council in order to combat money laundering activities. The main purpose of the Act, or the main aim of the Act, is to identify and report suspicious transactions to ensure that people who engage in money laundering activities can be charged under POCA. The Act imposes duties on institutions and other persons who might be used for money laundering purposes. It made any institution that can be used for money laundering accountable, and such institutions are therefore called accountable institutions. However, some institutions which can be used for money laundering are not accountable, but only have reporting duties and are therefore called reporting institutions. Accountable institutions are people and institutions where money can be paid in or paid out, or we can say where money can be deposited or money can be withdrawn. And these institutions can be used for money laundering purposes. Examples are banks, estate agents, attorneys, trust companies, collective investment schemes, long-term insurance companies, including insurance brokers and the representative of an insurer. In our next video, I have attached more examples of accountable institutions. Go through the examples and master them well in preparation of your exams. The Act requires accountable institutions to follow procedures and report suspicious transactions or unusual transactions. Examples of entities regarded as reporting institutions in terms of the Financial Intelligence Center Act are a person who carries the business of dealing in motor vehicles and a person who carries the business of dealing in Kruger runs. In our next video, we will discuss the duties of accountable institutions.